Without images and visual media, photography and illustrations, websites just wouldn't come alive. We use images on websites every day of the week. So what are the tools that WordPress bring to the table to help you through that process? In today's WordPress Essentials session, we're going to deep dive into that. I'm Jason Hawkins, and we've been working with WordPress for years, and we'll take you through the tools of how to work with images in your posts and pages on a day-to-day basis. If you haven't watched my previous instructional video around preparing images for use on the web, I encourage you to do that now. It'll take you through sizing, proportion and weight of images to prepare them for best use in your WordPress site. So please go and have a look at that first if you haven't already. So we're going to look at working with the image library, adding images to posts and pages, editing images within posts and pages, so justifying how they work with text, how they size and proportion in your web page and posts, and also using the WordPress Gallery tool. This is a very basic session, so we're not using additional plugins at all, we're just using out-of-the-box WordPress tools. We'll finish off the session with having a look at the WordPress image editing tools. I don't encourage you to actually use those to any great degree. Yes, you may, but I prefer for you to work with your images in an external tool first, such as Photoshop, or a dedicated image tool before you use that in WordPress. So let's take a close look. We'll cross over to the screenshots now and have a look through the session. All the media that's used on your website, let's call it videos, images, PDFs, Word docs, all those extra elements that are used on your website are stored in the media library. So the media library sits over here in the left-hand panel, and there is basically a list of all the images. You can also look at a grid style view of the images as well. So that can be handy for really just diving directly down into to find the most appropriate image that you're looking for if you've already uploaded. Sometimes the media library just sits in the background because you can upload images via directly into the post or your pages without even needing to go to here. But this is a handy tool to know that it actually exists. I can search for images uploaded in a particular date range. I can look for just images. I can look for just video. I don't just have video here. Or I can look for images that are unattached. Here's the PDF that is currently unattached to a page or post. That detail is displayed here as well. This can be really handy if you're looking for images that aren't used on the site, or you want to delete some images to optimize and upload again. Then looking over here into where they're actually attached to can be a lifesaver, so you don't remove an image and create a dead loaded 404 to when it, on a particular post or page. How do you add? Just click again, same as adding new posts or pages, this button up next to the title, and you can navigate through your files. Now you can upload a single file by dragging, and it will upload that image and show you, and then you can go and edit that image in more detail. The title, the metadata, the alternative text for accessibility, etc. I can also drag and drop I can also select multiple and drag and drop into here, and it will do that exactly the upload process. It makes it very easy. When we're first building a website and I've prepared all my images ready for upload, I would normally use the media library to do that initial load rather than upload them one at a time. It can also, so in here I can go and see the file URL, so sometimes I'll need to directly copy and paste that. It gives me some indication around size, so 95 KB, that's a good size, and the dimensions are 912 pixels by 608 pixels. Again, I can delete here. Here's my alternative text caption, so it would be fish swimming in a school. And I can put my caption here and it would pre-populate when I put that into the site. So you can also change the title, fish swing. I'm going to update that. So when I go back to the media library, it can give some meaning to those images. It still keeps the original file name. So at the moment, these images aren't used anywhere on the site, but now we will go and insert them into a post. Hopefully the media library will give you an indication of what's in the site, and that can grow very quickly over time if you've got quite a large site. Now that we have an understanding of the media library, let's jump over to a post, which is very similar to pages when we're working with images. So I'll go over to a post and try and add an image into a post. Now this is something you would do on a regular basis if you were managing a blog or news feed for your business. So it's very handy to know these skills. So if I'm going to, I want to insert an image here, we've got some options. We go up to our block editor and go add block, and I can use the most used, or under common blocks, there's image. And I can either go to my media library and select the image, or I can upload from my local drive. So I can go and select that and load that directly in. I don't mind doing either because I've already uploaded to the media library. I'm just going to go and grab this image and insert it. Now before you insert it, it's worthwhile having a look at the sizes. So it is 500 by 451 pixels, which is the right size image for an in content, and we'd load that up. So it's the right size, but it's still a bit big, isn't it? So here's where some of the very cool tools that WordPress brings to the table can help. So I can use a full size image here, or I can drop to medium size or the thumbnail. So interestingly, these are totally separate files that WordPress have created, and it's a nice, convenient way to get your images down to the most appropriate size. Now, the trouble is, if you go full size and you've gone straight off a mobile phone, the pixel size will be absolutely massive, and the weight of the image will be quite heavy, maybe a couple of meg in size. So please watch my preparing images video, and it'll make sure you don't fall into the trap of the wrong size or weight of the image. So I can also resize just by using these cool tools here, or I can reset to the original size. The other way you can resize is just grab these blue handles, and it will actually keep the proportion of the image, which is really handy. That is so good to be able to do that. So let's add a caption. And within the caption, I can also add a link, those words if I want. I'm just going to add a hash. I can bold and italics as well that caption, which can be very handy. So I'm going to save that, and let's have a check at how it looks in the front end. So I'm going to just refresh this, and what you'll find is that, okay, it's done a block with our paragraph. It's created a block for the image, and it's created a block for the next paragraph. That's fine, but it doesn't look great because there's this massive bit of white space here. So what the editor does in a very easy way is also allow you to align the image and wrap text around it very easily. You would do that with your align left, or your align right, or align center. So if it's a wide page, then yeah, the text will align. So let's do align left and see how that looks. I've done a resizing in this window, so I don't have to worry about this. The other components available to you are, I can link to the actual file itself. So let's just have I'll just set that up. Here's the URL of that image. I can open that in a new tab, and I think I probably would if I was going to do that. Okay, so I've saved this post. I'm going to refresh. So I've done my left align, the text is wrapping nicely, and this image is now a link. So if I tap the link, it opens a new tab and loads the full size image in this window. Now you may not always want to do that. You might want to actually link to a URL instead, or another, like a blog article, in which case you would go link settings, custom URL, and you would type in the web address of what you wanted to link to. So I'm just going to link to Google. Here's my custom URL. If I'm linking to a page outside of my website, it's good practice to open that in a new tab. I'm going to update that. And just refresh. And so the image now links to Google from the outside. Happy days. So there's some pretty simple tools for using an individual image. Interestingly enough, as a new feature in Gutenberg, I can also just go and grab an image and upload that straight into this site, and it automatically adds it to the media library as well. That's a very, very handy feature. Now, what you need to be careful with that is your image size and weight, obviously. Can be dangerous to do that without knowing how heavy that actual image is. So if I wanted to remove that, I'll just remove that block. So most themes use either single images, or you would use an image gallery and create an image gallery. There is a way to add an image gallery to your standard WordPress theme, and I'm going to create a gallery. So I'd use the most used, or under common blocks, there's also a gallery here. So to create a gallery, again, you can upload, select multiple images, or I can go to my media library. And it links me to the create gallery. I'm going to, I'm not going to use that because it's a repeated one. So here's my create gallery. I can go and caption these images if I wanted to, or just insert that gallery straight into the page. Now, there's also in our settings for this gallery, I can change to single or multiple across thumbnails across the page. I'm going to link to the media file. Look, because this theme doesn't have a whole lot of options with the galleries, it's not going to do anything like a slideshow or anything, but it allows you to dump these images straight into the page. And I'll show you right now how that looks. Let's do a refresh and scroll down. It hasn't refreshed yet. Let's give it a go. Okay, so here's my gallery, and these are links to the individual images. So whilst it does allow you to load the image, see I have to press my back key. So I'd probably use either a plugin or get the theme built around using delivering the gallery in a more appropriate way, either via a slideshow or grid loading with nav in a pop-over box. So you've got a couple of options there anyway. A great little tool for managing images, and hopefully that'll get you well and truly going on adding images to your posts and bringing your posts alive with some visually engaging content. Now we have an understanding of the media library and inserting images into posts and pages. Let's have a look at some of the more detailed features you can access if you're wanting to edit images within WordPress. I don't necessarily recommend you do this because you need to understand the image sizing and weight. So these two numbers here, file size, 95 KB, and dimensions, are critically important when you're optimizing for search and using the image on the website. If you were to just upload an image straight off your mobile phone that you've taken at a social event or wherever, that image file size is probably closer to 4 to 5 megabytes, which is just massive, and the dimensions would probably be 5,000 pixels wide. Unfortunately, or fortunately, websites are usually maximum 2,000 pixels wide, sort of 1,200 to 2,000 pixels for very large background images. So you just don't need images that large. Please view my training video on preparing your images and getting those images ready for the web. But alternatively, and I've used Photoshop in that test, but in here in WordPress you can actually modify the images inside by using the edit image button here, and I can obviously scale this image and save it as a smaller image. You can change the aspect ratio and crop. So I wanted to actually just crop this original image. I can drag and drop the appropriate size square over this and save that. I could rotate that image around and save it. I could flip it vertically or horizontally, and that is for returning the image to its original shape. So you can do this in here, but it's not great. I would prepare the images first in your image editor of choice before you would use WordPress to do this. This is not the best environment to do this in. So again, you can change the thumbnail sizes and modify the size of the site. But look, I would recommend not using this tool within WordPress. It is here, but hesitate and proceed with caution.